Hello, my friends. Let's get started. How are you today? I wanted to talk today about being a father and being a dad. And the question around the topic that I'm going to talk about is, am I a good dad? Am I a good dad? Am I a good dad? Now, here's what I have to say about that. You are a good dad, but you get to decide that. It's only you that get to decide that. Before I start today, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching these videos. Thank you for just being a part of the everyday and being a part of my life, whether it's through these videos or passing them, sharing them on to other people. That makes me happy. If you haven't already, I'd like to invite you to subscribe. Subscribe, hit the little bell notification after you've subscribed and hit the button, and you're well on your way. So, am I a good dad? The answer must always be yes. And you are the one that gets to define that. And if you are questioning yourself whether you're a good dad or not, you're on the right track. Thought I was going to say something different there, didn't you? Yeah, you're on the right track because you are actually a conscious person that is checking in with yourself. But here's where this whole thing goes awry. If you are continually asking yourself if you're a good dad, and this is a loop for you, then what you're doing is you're not giving yourself enough credit. And you're not beginning to think about all the great things that you bring to your family, your kids' lives, whatever your family looks like, whatever your kids' lives looks like with you in it. And it could look like a number of different things. It could look like you're a single dad out there. It could look like you're in a blended family dad. Could be in a marriage dad. And you're trying to carve out time. You're going to get better at it though, aren't you? One of the things that I had to really come to terms with was that, am I a good dad? And I had to say yes every time. And I didn't say yes every time. When I didn't do that, I was denying myself of let's just say the really good things that come with it. And if I decided to be a part of that belief, then I was headed down a road that wasn't the greatest. Now, let me tell you how this all started. Let's say 4 or 5 years ago, I started to really check in with myself, but I started to really wonder what the heck I was doing. How was I engaging my daughter? Was I engaging my family? And the answer was, I wasn't. I was running autopilot. But it was mostly because I wasn't telling my truth. And I wasn't telling my truth because I wasn't living the way I wanted to live, and I was living based on what everyone dictated around me my life should be. And that is what Aaron Doughty would say, the lifestyle of somebody who's an empath but doesn't know how to really live the life that they want to live because they haven't really figured it out, because they've assumed parts of every other person in their life that's how they've come to understand it. Now, I'm not saying that that's not what we do as human beings, because we take cuts, we take little bits, we take different things from people that we love, but we also do that with the things we don't love, and we don't really realize it because we're not conscious about it. So back to this dad thing. 4 years ago, when I left my marriage, I had really no idea who I was as a man. I had really no idea who I was as a father. I had to reset all of that, and that was really hard. There were some really, really crazy moments in all of that. I started flying back and forth between Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada, and Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And if most of you don't know, that can be anywhere from a 5-hour to an 8-hour flight. And that is more than 5,000 kilometers. And please excuse me where I don't have the imperial the imperial miles for that. But what I can tell you is I had to persevere. I had to persevere for my daughter. And I had to persevere for my future daughter, because her whole life existence as who she is, the template of dad, the template of man, was on me, and I had to get it together. And I had to make a choice whether I was going to accept the I'm not a great man to I am a great man. And I had proof that I could do it, because what I did when I became a health and safety advisor is I assumed I embodied everything that health, safety, environment was all about. So I became that. What I also knew was that I could do it. I could become the best father that I want to be, and I'm still doing it. But I had to recreate the template. And man, was it just like crazy? Yeah. Was it unsettling at times? Yeah. Did I really have to dig deep and figure out who I was as a person, as a man? I sure did. But I found out by really trusting what I knew was going to work and following my heart. And my heart was that I needed to be a part of my daughter's life, regardless of the time zones, regardless of how long it took me to get there. I managed every month I got to spend 9 to 10 days with my daughter every month for the more than a year that I was out of the province where she was living primarily. And you know what, my friends? I beat the odds. Not only for myself, but for my daughter. My daughter and I have forged a really great foundation. And there were times when it was unsettling for her. And we were like little nomads sometimes. I mean, you would say, well, if you didn't have a place here, Jesse, where were you? I was in Airbnbs. I was staying at friends' houses with my daughter so I could have time with her. But I was also putting her on a flight and taking her back to Halifax with me so that she could spend time with me, primarily me and my family back there, my family who lives back there. And that has forged probably the best bond. So beating the odds, how did I know that I had done it? Well, on the eve of the time that I took to move back to Alberta, and where I was transitioning from Nova Scotia back to Alberta, I was on a flight back to get the rest of my things. And I said goodbye to my daughter, but hey, sweetie, it's okay. Daddy will be back really quickly this time. And I was. But on the flight back, I gave myself permission to be okay with the past that I had known, which was that it wasn't like the typical template of a guy who has a family, who has kids and a wife. It was a little bit messy at first, but it was but on the plane ride back, I remember just saying to myself, I did it. I was a father for her for every month that I was away. Every month that I was away, living somewhere else primarily, I made time. And my friends, I racked up credit cards. I racked up debt. But let me tell you something. The bond, the love that I have with with my daughter and now my daughters, the learning that I did, the bond that I showed myself that I could give to my daughter, priceless. It was worth all of that and more. It was worth every penny, every dollar that it spent to do that. And I beat the odds. But I'm telling you, ask yourself this question: am I a good dad? And if you can't answer yes to that right away, talk to me. Send me a message, because I'm going to help you with that. Now, the other thing that I want to tell you about that is that the only vote that counts, as per you being a good dad, other than yourself, is your kids. Your kids. That's the only vote that matters. Forget everybody else. Forget your parents. Forget your best friends. Forget anyone that doesn't acknowledge the work that you've put in to getting where you are. The only vote that matters is your kids. The other vote that matters is the one that you give yourself. And you have to give that to you first. That vote has to come from you first. Your kids, you and your kids. Do you understand what I'm saying here? That's what matters. That's what matters. You have to make the choice to embody good dad. You have to make the choice to decide what that looks like. And you're going to figure it out. You're going to figure it out. Because you've got kids. You've got kids. And it has to work out for them. But I want you to think about something. If you can't think about how it looks for yourself, look to them. Because you will find yourself in tandem, simultaneously, together, when you start giving it to them. You will find out who you are. You will find out who you are in a hurry. And I mean, I hit rock bottom. I had to. You don't have to. But if you need to, if you get to, it's not an emergency. It's not the end of your life. It just gives you the best foundation for which to start. You clear everything. And if you are one of those dads right now that feels that you cannot give yourself the yes, I want to talk to you. I want you to talk to me. I want you to head to my website, www.thevaliantlifestyle.com, and send me a message. I want to talk to you. I want to tell you, and I want you to embody. But not only that, I want you to see in yourself how awesome you are. And you're just squandering it. I want you to know how much it means to your kids to be able to see you every day. And you're taking it for granted, aren't you? Don't argue with me. I want you to be able to know that. I want you to be able to stand on your 2 feet and to be able to make the judgment around who you are as a person, to be able to give yourself a yes in the yes vote every time. Yes, I am a good dad. And not only a good dad, you're an excellent dad. You are excellent. You are worthy of that title. You're embodying it. You're worthy of it because it means the world to your kids. And the difference that you make in your life that you are taking for granted right now because you don't fully understand who you are, let me tell you. I'm going to show you what you are. I'm going to show you who you are. I'm going to show you who you really are. And on that note, text me, call me anytime. Send me an email. Subscribe. Have a great day. Have an awesome day. Play lots, play hard, love yourself. Take care.